Welcome to Aita, Japan. It's the unknown and unproven circuit today which will hold round 2 of the 1994 Formula 1 World Championship. A championship which is asking many questions. Just how dominant is the Benetton? Just how much work have Williams got to do to get their FW16 up to speed? And will there be anybody else that can get in the way of the Senna-Schumacher battle? Mainly our Damon. Well, in the last round, it was a dominant win for Michael Schumacher. That's very pleasing for he. Senna was only second by a second, but it's all the points that counts, not the seconds. Damon Hill stands third in the championship. From a constructor's standpoint, after round 1, Benetton and Williams are both tied at the top. So, who will have the advantage in this one? Many people may look to the twisting circuit that this could benefit the Ford V8 engine that the Benetton are running, as in fact that there's only one long straight in which the Williams Renault V10 can get up to speed in. But this is a circuit which is proven to be more about driver skill. The real surprise though was who took pole yesterday. Well, the grid is set and Britain's Damon Hill has got pole position, beating out Benetton's Michael Schumacher for second. The second row, Ayrton Senna is joined by Rubens Barrichello and Jordan. Geoff, Berger and Gianni Morbidelli are 5th and 6th, and Christian Fittipaldi in the other arrows is with Martin Brundle 8th. Hometown hero Uko Katayama is ahead of number 10, and that'll be John Alesi. 11th there is Mark Blundell, and Heinz-Harald Frentzen is also in 12th place. 13th is Jos Verstappen. 14th is Michele Alberto in the Minardi, 15th is Mika Hakkinen, 16th is Carl Vendela, Aguri Suzuki in the other Jordan is 17th, joined by Pedro Lamy of the Lotus, Pierluigi Martini of the Mardini is joined by Eric Barnard of the Ligier, Olivier Panis is joined by Britain's Johnny Herbert in the Lotus. This is the back of the grid.
For the lights, go, and the Grand Prix here in Aida is underway. Damon Hill's got away to a stop, so is Schumacher. Look at Senna looks, he's got his way all the way past the Jordan, and Damon Hill comes back, and could this be the opportunity for Damon? Round the outside goes Michael Schumacher, and everyone's got through. There's been no crashes, nobody's contacted at the moment, and there goes Schumacher off into the lead. Second is Damon Hill, third at the moment is Ayrton Senna. It's a brilliant start at the moment by the German again, and that Benetton Ford has got off the line like an absolute rocket. Gerhard Berger is down to 4th place, and it looks like the Jordan of Rubens Barrichello is being passed by Mika Hakkinen there, and there is Lacey again. He's making a move on Morbidelli of the footwork, and a frenetic start to the Grand Prix, the specific Grand Prix here in Aida, Japan, and well, Damon Hill started pole when he's standing behind Schumacher now, and he's got Senna starting to crawl up the back of him.
Well, let's have a look at the start, shall we? Good traction off the line from the Ferrari here, although he's immediately caught. He's got plenty of braking time to think about into turn 1, lots of space. Everyone's given themselves space as well, a lot of respect going in on the first lap, so no collisions there. But Senna, as much as he's all over the gearbox of Damon Hill, he's going to be in the dirty air, and that front end isn't going to grip as well, so he'll be wanting to get past as quickly as possible. It's whether Damon lets him past.
Senna signed for the Williams team, and he did so as the envious driver of McLaren in previous years gone by. He's looking to have a look at his teammates. This is the main passing opportunity. Can he outbrake Damon Hill into the hairpin? Yes, he can. And Ayrton Senna has come through and gets past Damon Hill and moves into 2nd place. Great driving by Senna. This is Alesi here on Barrichello, so this is Ferrari on the Jordan Hart. And Alesi is he going to put the same move in the same spot as Senna's done Hill? Yes, he does. And John Alesi has made a fantastic start already. He can see Rubens Barrichello right ahead of him.
Well, Michael is having a fantastic race so far. Look at the gap between him and 2nd place, 1.5 seconds already. Although Senna is now clear of Hill, it'll be interesting to see how quickly he can close the gap, very much like at Interlagos. He did close the gap, but he didn't quite have enough laps. He's more or less got the entire race distance to close it now. It'll be interesting to see how Senna responds.
Well, if I've said it once, I'll say it again. Catching somebody is one thing, passing them is completely another. That is the challenge which is going to beset Ayrton Senna as he looks to give chase and go after Michael Schumacher. But there is the man that took pole position today, Damon Hill. He might be slightly disappointed to find himself third, but such has been the brilliance and the quality of the start at the moment by this Benetton Ford. So far, the Williamses just haven't been able to match Michael Schumacher off the line.
Well, I spoke to Senna in pre-season about how the difference with the electronic age no longer being part of it, and he did say that race starts have become a little more tricky, although he's questioned the Benetton's starts, particularly at the last race, and he may well be thinking the same thing as to whether they've done something different. But, he has been very curious about what is underneath that Benetton. Whether he will be more curious after this race, we shall soon see.
Damon Hill here in third place. Behind him is Geoff, Berger, who is fourth in the Ferrari. Fifth is Mika Hakkinen in the McLaren. You can also see in the background. Second place is Ayrton Senna in the other Williams, and leading but is Michael Schumacher at the moment, and he's continuing to put out a gap on Damon Hill with 3.6 seconds behind, and last time it was made, it's now moved over to 2 seconds between Senna and Schumacher. So Michael Schumacher really is putting in a fabulous effort. We're watching Ayrton Senna here, just down 2 gears, clip the apex, drift all the way out onto the power as well. Look at him go for the gears, 150 mile an hour, brakes down to second gear, into the left, tightens, let the car drift out wide, and then you've got to sit there and find almost a blind apex. There he goes, just nails it perfectly. Senna goes left again, now power, up through the gears again. Cars themselves doing up to 160 mile an hour, the final corner to make. Senna gets the car nice and wide, now down the start-finish straight, but Michael Schumacher is the man to catch at the moment, and he's set the fastest lap of 1:13.32. Schumacher is absolutely flying.
He is indeed, yes, and being very careful with that Williams. It's been known to be a little tail happy on the power, and on a circuit like this it'll be very easy for them to spin. Although you'll note that a lot of the cars have got that extra downforce on the rear wing to help prevent that in the high-speed corners. As you can see there on Schumacher's, got that extra winglet on the top, as has Ayrton Senna's, I believe, and so has Damon Hill. So they've elected to go for more rear-end downforce to perhaps counteract that little issue with the power delivery in these cars today.
Of course, the active suspension, traction control, anti-lock brakes, all apparent to the cars in previous seasons gone by, have been removed now. So note that these cars themselves don't even have power steering. It's very much man and machine that have to be in perfect harmony at the moment. And the Williams themselves, since the changes, obviously the previous 2 championship winning cars, Nigel Mansell and Alain Prost, by far had the better car on the grid. Although it has to be said now that while the Williams may not be the better car, they've definitely got a track record of recent time of being the team to beat in recent years. They seem to have overtaken McLaren in dominance, and they look to be, I know I spoke to Patrick Head recently, who definitely said he was slightly concerned about Ross Brawn and the Benettons.
Well, they have been quick, the Benettons, this year, as Michael is demonstrating. They've certainly, well, at least Michael is demonstrating. Jos Verstappen is having a little bit of difficulty, I feel, which more or less shows the skill of young Michael Schumacher and the difference to his slightly more experienced teammates. But one man who's experienced with Michael Schumacher is Martin Brundle, as we're seeing him in the McLaren. He's having a little bit of difficulty in the corners. I don't think that McLaren's quite got the power that it used to have with that Peugeot engine as opposed to the Honda ones. And one engine that certainly has a lot of power is that Ferrari V12 that is screaming along behind him. Will be looking to close the gap, that Ferrari, but he's also gone for the extra downforce on the rear wing as well. A lot of the cars have got that today. Clearly they've been having some rear end traction issues in practice, and they've elected to go for more downforce today.
Well, there is Jean Alesi in the Ferrari V12, new team principal,
John Todd has come in to try and change the fortunes of the Ferrari team around. They really have languished since they last challenged for the World Championship 4 years ago, narrowly losing out. Understand Carl Vendingler is out of the race with a transmission problem. And look at this for the replay. This is Vendingler seemingly about retiring.
Yes, well, he's clearly gone for a gear and the gearbox has given up on him. Not the ideal place, at least it's happened on a straight where he's been able to give lots of people space, but it's definitely not the ideal scenario for him. That could be an expensive replacement as well.
Vendingler at the Sauber side. There has been talk whether Carl Vendingler will continue to drive for them. There has been some challenges over the reliability. Of course, the Sauber team last season really looked like they were going to break through into the upper echelon. At the moment, no one's been able to break through and catch Michael Schumacher. A dominant performance that he was able to put through the Brazilian Grand Prix, and he's maintained his 2.1 second advantage as we're in lap 8 at the moment over Ayrton Senna. And Martin Brundle is in the pits.
So first to blink when it comes to the pit stops, see how quick they are with the stop itself. Oh, the trouble with the front right there. Bit of a slow stop by McLaren standards, as Mark Blundell's had a problem as well. He's out of the race. Another Brit out, it's unfortunate for him. It's a bit of a sloppy stop from McLaren there.
6.3 seconds is the time that Martin Brundle and the Woking base side have produced. So a top stop here you'd be looking to get under 5 seconds. So that's the aim, to get fuel on, to get new tyres on, to do it under 5 seconds. That's a marker to know that you've seen a truly impressive pit stop. Anything more than that, something's wrong. But you're definitely right, there was definitely problems there with Brundle getting onto the front line. So now Michael Schumacher's blinked and Benetton's coming into the pits.
Well, they've obviously responded. They think now is the time. See how quick they are with their stop. Well, he's had to wait for Gerhard Berger to go past him before they could release him. So a bit of a slow stop there for Benetton. See how Berger gets on. 5.2 seconds, that's not bad. He hasn't had to wait for traffic either, but that could play into Senna's hands.
Yes, Ayrton Senna now has a clear track ahead of him, and Michael Schumacher is coming through into 4th place from this, but Schumacher also has clear track. It's Ayrton Senna though that really has to put the power down, and he has to go and hope that his team, his pit crew get their pit stop strategy. They have to get everything absolutely perfect if he can put in some quick laps here. That could be the possible, but already Senna's up against traffic, and this is disastrous.
Well. Yep, he's cleared the first one reasonably, but this could be a real problem for him.
Both Ligiers going really slowly, and could this be a crucial disaster for Senna? Obviously, he was held up by back markers when we were in Brazil, and here we are again. He should be able to get past there. The Minardi quite easily, which Senna does, but how much time and would that change the Williams pit crew strategy? Will they try and keep Senna out to go a bit further as Jean Alesi comes in?
Well, they've kept him out, haven't they? They haven't pitted him. John Alesi's in now, but he could potentially be trying to go the long game, and Jos Verstappen is also in the pits, the other Benetton. Could he possibly be used to help Senna if he gets into a reasonable position? Not sure, but perhaps the back markers may have changed the strategy. We don't know. We don't know what Ayrton may be thinking. Well, he's probably rather annoyed at those back markers getting in his way, but you would think he would have to come in at some point to at least try and match Michael Schumacher's strategy. Maybe the traffic will get in Schumacher's way, we don't know, but at present he's still out there on those tyres, and they'll be a little older than Michael's and less grip, so we'll see how he does. Still staying out by the looks of things as well. He's keeping going.
Yeah, I'm sure Ayrton Senna will be absolutely furious after the result of what took place for being held back, and see the aggression. There he goes past the footwork arrows, makes it with absolute ease. This is lap 11, and Damon Hill
He's come into the pits. So Damon Hill at the moment running in second place. So the Williams team deciding to pit Damon ahead of Senna. So this is going to all come. Ayrton Senna put in a quick lap, tried to get up enough time, and I'm looking at the timing indexes. Can he put in enough time available to go ahead, to come out in a position in which he is ahead of Michael Schumacher?
Well, if there's anyone in Formula 1 who can find a miracle lap time and a few extra milliseconds, it's Ayrton Senna. He's done it on most circuits he's been to. I'm sure here will be no different. It's interesting that Damon Hill's gone in first. Perhaps they might try and use him to slow down Schumacher. Perhaps if they can get him out ahead of Schumacher, that can play into their hands. But at present, Senna leads. He hasn't stopped. We don't know when he's going to stop. He's got to get past this back marker as well. It's certainly not helping him, and in he comes.
So, Ayrton Senna into the pits, and I'm looking at my commentary position to wait to see if I can see Michael Schumacher, and this is the moment of the race that we're all waiting for. Both four wheels are on, all hands go up. We're looking at the drive out position now, 6.4 seconds. It was not a quick stop. There's a back marker ahead of him, and I'm looking around the corner. There's Schumacher, and now Schumacher is also coming through the straight. This is going to be deadly close at the moment. Can Senna pull out ahead of Schumacher? No! There, Michael Schumacher still leads the Pacific Grand Prix, but he's come out right behind Gianni Morbidelli here in the footwork. So all of a suddenly there, Schumacher is held up right behind Senna, and this is what we've been waiting for. And this might have just worked out for Ayrton Senna, because now it gives him a chance and the opportunity to try and challenge Michael Schumacher as he's approached him in traffic. Been some quick laps, and Schumacher goes to the pass, and the Williams it's slowing down, and Senna could be out of the Pacific Grand Prix. Oh my word!
And we have been robbed for the second race in a row of a Senna versus Schumacher battle. The back markers got in the way last time, and this time that Renault engine has given up. And I'm looking in the Williams garage. Frank Williams does not look a happy man. And I dare say Ayrton Senna is not happy either.
Oh, it worked out into the position as you see the marshals. Wonderfully well trained, these marshals are coming in. Let's look at the replay and Trev, what happened here?
Well, he's again very similar to Wendlinger. He's gone for a gear, and clearly it just hasn't gone, and it's just broken the gearbox entirely. Sad end for him in this race. It looked like we were going to have quite the competition for first place, but Michael's got that first place all to himself now, and I don't think there's anyone near that could possibly challenge him at this point.
Michael Schumacher leads. Gerhard Berger in the Ferrari is second. Damon Hill at the moment is catching, so Damon Hill in third place, but Gerhard Berger in the Ferrari doesn't look to be gaining any time on Michael Schumacher. As for Damon Hill, as he drives past his teammate, it's out of the race. He is gaining at the moment Gerhard Berger, so could this be an opportunity potentially for Damon? We shall have to wait. Timings there, Damon Hill putting 0.4 of a second, going quicker, and both getting past the traffic very well. Damon Hill, 3 times Grand Prix winner himself, was hoping this would be his big moment. A little puff of the smoke from Gerhard Berger in the Ferrari. Gerhard Berger himself, his 10th season at the moment in Formula 1. And now this is Martin Brundle, who we are watching, and behind him is the other Ferrari of Jean Alesi. So Martin Brundle doing a fantastic job at the moment in the McLaren, and Martin Brundle's been passed by Jean Alesi, and passed quite easily. Is there a problem? And there's smoke coming back.
Oh, that engine doesn't look very healthy.
Smoke coming out of the back of the McLaren. Oh,
that
what
Berger
rotten luck for Martin Brundle.
Well, I could make a comment about the reliability of French engines, but that's just typical luck for Martin Brundle. He's never quite been in the right place at the right time, and it's another sad end for him, unfortunately.
So Martin Brundle is out. Ayrton Senna is out. Michael Schumacher leads. Gerhard Berger in the Ferrari is second. In third place is Damon Hill in the Williams, who is gaining at the moment and catching Gerhard Berger. And the way in which Michael Schumacher is put away at the Benetton, Schumacher knows that if they can just continue to manage the car, manage the race, then that'll be it. They will be able to come home and win this. And they're in a winning position at the moment because of the distance that they've got. But with Gerhard Berger, he's got Damon Hill sitting behind him. Looking at the time, Damon was 4/10 of a second behind at the beginning of the last lap. Now he's got it to under 3 tenths, 3.9 seconds, 0.39 seconds as I should say, as I correct myself behind. And Gerhard Berger at the moment is looking. So 4 laps left of the Pacific Grand Prix here in Aida. Schumacher is leading, but Damon Hill at the moment is trying to catch. And could Damon, how do you think Damon's got to approach this, trying to pass a man as experienced as Gerhard Berger?
Well, he's just got to be brave, and now might be the time late on the brakes, and just like that, just takes the advantage of late braking, was a bit brave, took the position beautifully. Wonderful driving there from Damon Hill.
And Damon Hill goes through into second place in the Williams Renault. Now the time and the question has to be asked, as the rain comes down here in Aida, does Damon Hill have enough time on the board to go and chase after Michael Schumacher? Is there enough laps left? Could the Williams Renault go as quick? This is a manoeuvre again, and look at him, very brave, braking late. 190 mile an hour that they're doing in their clips. The apex just finds every grip, every inch of grip that he can find. And what about that by Damon?
Well, he put his car in the position where Gerhard couldn't really do much about it. He sort of positioned him well enough that if he braked late enough, Gerhard would have no choice but to let him through or have an accident. And good driving from Gerhard in that regard, in terms of he didn't crash him off the road. We've got a few drivers on the grid that I think maybe would have been a bit more compromising. But interestingly, Ayrton Senna, he's just standing on the wall there, paying close attention to Michael Schumacher's car. He's normally all the drivers go back to the pits, but Ayrton's staying out there. I don't know what he's looking at, but he's looking at a bit cross towards Michael Schumacher. I mean, Ayrton's not the best of losers, but this man has led the race faultlessly, and his car doesn't seem to be having any trouble at all.
Michael Schumacher produced the most brilliant start off the line, beat Damon Hill into pole position into the first corner, and since then Schumacher has been untouchable. And that is the Lotus that he's got ahead of him. That's Johnny Herbert. So Schumacher looking and should get past the Lotus. Even Johnny Herbert said it's a bit of a pig of a car to drive, but hoping for better things. But Michael Schumacher has produced the most brilliant race strategy, and I know I spoke recently to Ross Brawn, and he was definitely in the case that thinking that the Benetton setup do have something special. Be it they've got the V8 as opposed to the V10 to the run by the Williams side, as we're watching Damon Hill, who's over 11 seconds or so behind, and at the moment I don't think Damon's got enough time to try and catch Schumacher with 2 laps to go. But the main man here today has been Michael Schumacher. He has been incomparable, he has been quite brilliant, precise, and when he's needed to be aggressive he was in the most fantastic of ways. And we're on board with Gerhard Berger in third place, who's watching that Williams just dart away from him.
The problem with this Ferrari is, as much as the V12 is extremely powerful, it is also extremely thirsty, so any kind of poor fuel management from the Ferrari drivers can lead them to being in a bit of a sticky situation late race. I think he may well find himself not really being able to catch Damon Hill at risk of running out of fuel.
Gap had gone to over 12 seconds, and we're now in the final lap of the Pacific Grand Prix. Michael Schumacher, absolutely outstanding, winner in Brazil in round 1. He's just got to keep everything together, braking points, doesn't have to give it full beans, doesn't have to give it full welly. All he's got to do is manage the car in the next few corners, and he will have 2 wins from 2 in this Formula 1 season. And that's Rubens Barrichello ahead of him in the Jordan, who is in 9th place. So what a drive this has been by Schumacher. He's lapped over half the field in this performance. in the one battle which he did have with Ayrton Senna. Reliability in the transmission of the Williams Renault gearbox has cost him. Michael Schumacher looks to come through, and Michael Schumacher is the winner and takes the checkered flag at Aida. It's 20 points from 2 races for Schumacher at the moment. Can anybody stop the Benetton team? Brilliant, and it looks like there's a car that's just spun off the track, but Schumacher, what a performance he's had.
Well, he's been faultless today, hasn't he? Perfect start, managed to get the pit strategy right, got his way through traffic quickly and swiftly, and had that little bit of luck on his side with the gearbox and the Williams. But other than that, Michael Schumacher has been imperious today.
Damon Hill has come through to claim 2nd place on the podium. Gerhard Berger getting on in 3rd. In 4th place is John Lacey, and sitting John Lacey started 10th. That was an outstanding performance. And here is Jos Verstappen to come through, and that'll be an excellent 5th place for Jos Verstappen. So Benetton getting 2 of their cars in the top spot, and Mika Hakkinen comes through for McLaren to take the final World Championship points. So Mika Hakkinen comes through and gets the final World Championship point to round out the top 6 today. And I think this is a replay of a car that may have spun earlier on. That looks like to me to be Uko Katayama. So I was surprised we've not seen more of today, and he's still racing and goes wide, and oh, how embarrassing is that?
Well, he's foolishly tried to overtake on the outside in the wet. He's then put a toe on the grass, and he's ended up in the what do you call it, the kitty litter, as you've said in the past.
Well, phenomenal drive then from Michael Schumacher, that has a double-digit lead at the top of the Drivers' Championship after round 2. Damon Hill is in 2nd, and Senna finds himself tied for 3rd with John Lacey. Gerhard Berger, after that performance, has jumped up to 5th. From a constructor's standpoint, Benetton lead ahead of Williams. Ferrari look to be ahead of everyone else. McLaren taking just 1 World Championship point this weekend. Michael Schumacher very much looks like the man to beat at the moment this season. The Benetton's absolutely unbeatable. But we're off to Imola next, the San Marino Grand Prix, which you can see live, a part of Sunday Grandstand. If you've enjoyed this race here on Trevor Sports, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Formula 1 action here on the channel. Let us know what your thoughts are on the video, and we look forward to seeing you again for more Grand Prix action